So question 1, it's an estimate. It's not an exact amount. 258 times 27. What we're going to do is we're going to estimate this to the one significant figure. So we're going to use one significant figure here. So this I'm going to round to the nearest one significant figure, which would be 300. And I'm going to times that by this rounded to one significant figure, which is 30. So I've got 300 times 30. I'm going to multiply those 3's, which gives me 9, and then I'm going to add on the 3 zeros, and that's your answer. It's an estimate, it's not exact, but you do need to show this working out here. Question 2, I'm going to estimate this, which is just going to stay as 60, but this one, I'm going to use 50 there, because that's 47 to one significant figure, and I'm going to do this calculation. So 6 times 5 is 30, and I have to add the 2 zeros, and that's my answer. Question 3. I've got a multiplying fraction, so 5/9 times 1/6. I'm just going to multiply the tops together, so that gives me 5, and multiply the bottoms together, and that gives me 54, and that is your answer. Simple as that. Same thing here, 2/11 times 3/7, so multiply the tops together, gives me 6, multiply the bottoms together, gives me 77. 368.80 divided by 8. I'm going to use a bus stop method, so 368.80, and I'm going to divide that by 8. So 8 goes into 3, not at all. 8 goes into 36 4 times. 8 times 4 is 32, so I've got 4 left over. So 4 goes into here. 8 times by 6 is 48, so I'm going to have 6 here. 8 goes into 8 exactly once, and then 8 goes into 0 not at all. So there's your answer, £46 and 10. If you do this on the calculator without working out, that's not what I'm going to expect to see. Question 6, same idea, 585.60, and I'm going to divide that by 6, so I'm using a bus stop method. 6 goes into 58, well 6 times 10 would be 60, 6 times by 9 gives me 54, so I've got 4 left over. 6 goes into 45 7 times. 6 times by 7 is 42, so we have 3 left over. 6 goes into 36 exactly 6 times, and 6 goes into 0 times, so I have £97.60. These ones are difficult. These bus stop divisions with decimals, they are tricky. Question 7 we've been working on recently. So I've got 4x times by 7x is going to give me 28. And then I've got x times by x, which is x squared. And then I've got to multiply 4x by 11, and that's going to give me plus 40, take away, because there's a minus there, take away 44x. Question 8. 3x multiplied by 7 is going to give me 21x. And then 3x times by minus 5x is going to give me minus 15x squared, because it's x times by x. Question 9. Express 31% as a fraction in its lowest form. 31%. Percent just means out of 100. 31 out of 100. We can't simplify it any further than that. It just stays like that. The same thing with this one. 39% as a fraction is just 39 out of 100. Now sometimes we could simplify these if there was a number that went into both 31 and 100 or 39 and 100. We could simplify it to its lowest form. But in this case, there is no number that would go into both, so they're just going to stay like that. highest common factor of 30 and 120 is just 30. If you think about the factors of 120, 30 is one of them, and it obviously is the highest number that is also a factor of 30, so the answer there is just 30. Lowest common multiple of 12 and 32. So I would just think about my multiples of 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, and so on. And then my multiples of 32, 32, 64. Do I have a common one yet? No. Do another one. 96. Yes, I've got the lowest one, which is in both lists. My answer there is 96. Question number 13. 72 divided by minus 8. So 72 divided by 8 would be equal to 9. So 72 divided by minus 8 would be minus 9, because one of them is negative. A positive divided by a negative gives you a negative answer. Now this one, I've got a negative divided by another negative, which will give me a positive answer. So I've got 20 divided by 2, which would be 10. It's going to be positive 10. Okay. Question 15. 8 to 44 is the same as 1 to something here. This is how I'm going to work it out. Divide that by 8, divide 44 by 8. Okay, we can use a calculator for this one. So 44 divided by 8 gives you 5.5. That's your answer here. 1 to 5.5. Question 16, 4 to 40. I want to make it 1 to something. I needed to divide this one by 4. I'm going to divide this one by 4. It is going to be 1 to 10. Question 17. Question 17. 8x plus 3 equals 3x plus 18. Difficult solving equations question, which you guys have done before, but it is something which you struggle with in general, so I'm going to work it out really carefully to give you guys a chance to do it in your homework. So I need to get rid of the x's from one side to solve this. I'm always going to try to choose the lower value. Okay, so I'm going to take away 3x from both sides. Take away 3x here, take away 3x here. So that gives me 5x plus 3 equals 18. I've just got rid of the 3x, but that meant I need to take away 3x from the 8x here, which gives me the 5x. The numbers without x, they just stay as they are. But then, I need to get rid of this bit here. I want to get x on its own, so I'm going to take away 3 from both sides. That gives me 5x equals 15. So 5 times by a number is 15. So that number must be 15 divided by 5, which would be 3. Dividing both sides by 5. There's a 3-step solving equations with the unknown that you're trying to find, the letter you're trying to find on both sides, which makes it tricky. So on this one, again, take away 3x from both sides. That gives me 2x. Doesn't affect the numbers, so 2x minus 1 equals 9. Add 1 to both sides, because I need to undo that, take away 1. That gives me 2x equals 10. And then divide both sides by 2 to get what x is equal to 5. express 660 as a product of prime factors. Guys, this is a factor tree, which you may have done in previous years. But what you have to do is 660 and split it out. I think we did this earlier, actually. So we've got 66 times by 10 is one way to split it out. I can keep going with that then. I've got 33 times by 2. 2 is a prime number. I'm going to circle it. 33 is not. It's 11 times by 3. Those are both prime numbers. Circle them. 10 splits into 5 times 2. Both of those are prime numbers. So you end up with 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 11 as your answer. Prime factor tree. 28 splits out into 7 times 4. 4 splits into 2 times 2. These are all primes. It's just 2 times 2 times 7.